She's not. All right, we are at the Village Council regular meeting, November 14th, 2024. We are at 7:05 p.m. and we will start with roll call. Council President Cameron.
Present.
Councilperson Passion.
Here.
Councilperson Koss is absent, and do we have a motion to,
I want to finish roll call and we'll come back.
okay, let's come back to that. Councilperson Graham.
Present.
Councilperson Martin.
Here.
Councilperson McNamara.
Present.
All right, Councilperson Koss is absent and excused. Do we have a motion to approve her
Motion.
Second.
excuse?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Okay. Pledge of allegiance. I don't have her here. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Next, do we have a motion to approve the October 24th, 2024 committee as a whole meeting minutes?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions?
I abstain as I was not present.
Do we have a motion to approve the October 24th, 2024 council meeting minutes?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions?
I abstain as I was not present.
Got it. And then do we have a motion to approve the November 7th, 2024 council work session minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right, next we will move to our village official reports and we will start with Chief Matt Dowd.
Thank you, Mayor. Should be able to keep this under 7 seconds. I don't have anything to add to the report I delivered. Just to know that they're still working on the analytics part. They think it is only affecting our department, so they're trying to determine if it's affecting other clients. So looks like it might be like their entire software program. So that's it.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for Chief? All right. Next, we will move to our fiscal officer, Mr. Jeffrey Wilczek.
Thank you, Mayor. Financial report will be out next week before the meeting. With everything else that's been going on budget-wise and legislation, it's been delayed. Got the final allocation or receipt for income tax for the month of November, and we are 11% ahead of last year with it. So we're holding good. And that's all I have to report.
Perfect. Any questions? All right, next we have engineer's report. His report, we have the 2025 roadway improvement project, which is the Minerva Lake Road project. They participated, Mike was here, and we all participated in an open house on October 17th to provide public update on the project, including the problems with conditions, completed date, how all that would go, the funding status, and all that. Pending feedback from MORPC on the village's OPWC funding application, they will revise documents based on feedback and direction from the open house with an anticipated bidding period beginning spring of 2025. The maintenance building, now that legislation is processed and complete, they will begin preparing the contract documents with a goal to issue a notice to proceed to the contractor in early December to allow the contractor to prepare preliminary submittals and secure building permits. And then task order number 31 is the lake improvement detail design. With that, we will continue moving forward on anything and everything lakes. They are working on trying to get to 30% level design so they can submit for permitting on that as well. And that is Mike Flickinger's report. So if anybody has any questions, just let me know. And Jesse is out tonight. He will be here next week. So if anybody has any questions, just let me know and I can get those to him. And then next we have Mr. Eric Fisher for Village Planning.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. I don't have anything outlandish to add since our last discussion. We'll P&Z on the 12th, dealing with an unusual lot split on Jordan Road. Other than that, I'll take any questions if anyone's got any concerns.
Perfect. Go for it. You have a question?
It's technically not you, it's more, I kind of want to back up to the engineering one. Have we
Oh, go
gone
ahead.
out, have we gone out to bid yet on the street project?
The
For
Minerva Lake?
Lake Road, sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay, I wasn't,
We are a million miles away from that.
Okay.
At this point, we are expecting to get our score, which means absolutely nothing to
From
me.
the open house.
So we went to the open house, we did all that. We will get a score from, is it Morpsey that gives us a score?
Yeah, actually, I got that score.
Which is gonna mean nothing to me.
100%?
No, I actually sent Ben, says I don't understand.
I don't either.
If it was a school score, it would be low, right? So I was concerned, so but I don't know how it relates to everything else under the sun, right? So I just sent him a question, said, what does this mean? Because there's opportunities for us to speak on it this month. I guess to try to, if we don't get funding, I mean, what I'm assuming it means is that the way Ben explained it is that we would not get a full grant. You know, some municipalities put in like a full grant, we have to put in for a combination. I suspect that's the answer when we get back, like it's fine for what we want to get, but I haven't received a response yet.
Okay.
For the schools.
so I'm asking
Oh, you're
because
good.
I know that we talked about doing the sidewalks as an add-on thing, and,
Do we speak to that at all?
well, let me say what I want to say, and it may not apply to it. We have also talked about putting a monument on the end of Westerville Road and Minerva Lake. Can that be an add-on in there as well? And I think we also talked about putting a street light in at Minerva Lake Road and Farview. Can that also be put in as an add-on?
So the answer is yes,
Okay.
right, we can put it in. I would say in all likelihood, since the Linkus project got, approved by the voters, we probably aren't gonna have to worry about that aspect of the sidewalks, right?
Okay.
That's gonna be, there's gonna be a whole litany of information that comes out how we
Sure.
deal with that process, but that's gonna be a funded side of it, since that was our main project submission was, whole Minerva Lake Road plus into Columbus for some sections of them as well too. So obviously it's going to change that there's going to be money perhaps available. And so the answer, I think, I'm not necessarily speaking for Mike or how that process works, but from a bid standpoint, you can add those things. I don't think that's an issue if you want to.
I mean, it feels like that's the right place to add it.
Right.
Since we're doing the street, we've talked about those things. Might be nice just to kind of have that all bundled in there. And if they're add-ons, we can always say no,
Right.
right? So that's why I asked where we were with the bidding, because I didn't.
It'll be a little bit still. So at some point in December, we will find out if we actually did. So we get the score, and then in some point in time in December, by end of December, we should know exact.
Right.
And then once we find that out, then we would then move to next steps, assuming that we do get it. So at that point, that's when we would talk to Mike about adding that in. And yes, for sure, the light and everything, because we've talked about that quite a bit.
Yeah,
Just do a bat signal.
I am done with you.
Well, not real bats. but
Okay.
like,
yeah. Okay, perfect, thank you.
So yes, I think that would be a great time to do it. All right, next we have our zoning officer. I think everybody has the report. Yes, no, maybe. So again, if you have any problems, questions, concerns, please let me know. And then we have planning and zoning, Mr. Tommy Grant.
I mean, he basically said it all by saying almost nothing at all. The next meeting is it December 12th? Is that when we're gonna meet? Is that what we said?
4th.
4th. And that's pretty much it, yeah.
When's our next meeting? When's our work session?
The 5th.
5th?
Yes.
So I have asked this several times of planning and zoning. Can we get drawings of where they want those Frisbee golf course, like a master plan
Yes.
of that?
We have until 2027 at least.
I thought we were trying to put some money in it for next year.
Right, we actually are trying to put some estimate.
So,
I mean, I just saw the budget last week.
2027.
oh, it's on 2027's list, not 2026. Or-
Yeah, because there's no plan to go with it. So we need to
Yeah.
get something concrete to look
Yes.
from.
Yeah, okay, I thought we were trying to get money in for next year.
What my
Maybe.
understanding, we can have a discussion on the side, is that,
Okay.
yes, we wanted to put a holding point in the budget for next year. That's what I think P and Z's intent or request was, JP, or,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong.
I agree, yeah.
So, if we'd be so kind to add that, sir, if we could.
What is a holding point?
Holding point was the amount of money that was in the email I forwarded.
It doesn't carry forward from year to year. That's why it's on the project list for 2027.
Oh, understood, from a technical standpoint.
Okay, so let's talk about that
Yes.
outside here.
Yes, understood. So we'll get that, staff will get that rectified, and get that in there. It's not a huge amount of money, right? So we'll put that in there. And then to answer your question, we'll get the plan that has been drawn up by P and Z, one of our members, Mr. Lewis, and it was put forward by the P and Z Commission, and, we'll get that over to everybody to review. Not a problem, we have that.
Yeah, I'd like to see something. I hate talking about spending money on
Well,
something.
because it was, this isn't the time and place for it, but in that meeting, there was concern about location because they weren't 100% about location and where it would be
Right.
and whether or not it would be beneficial for the village to have those in certain places or, again, they want to know where it's going to be. I think they wanted to move forward with that, but I don't think anybody has actually said this is where we want them.
The plan, in general, the P and Z Commission wanted to, also build off of what the school put in.
Right.
And so that was important from an aspect of the planning part of it, that we wanted to kind of continue that and then be able to, circulate it through the village
Right.
over the course of time, which gets back to the capital project list, which,
Right.
again, staff will rectify and
Yeah.
which but it was overall thoughtful by the P and Z to put, it's not an engineered plan. It's
Sure,
more
sure,
just a
sure.
layout of where some of
And
these
I
things would
don't
go.
know if it needs to be engineered for what this is,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I thought you had put money into, I thought when we talked about this last week, or whenever we had our
No,
meeting, I thought you had
It's on the
said,
list
okay, I must have missed the year part,
so
I'm
that we
sorry.
can, get cost
Yes,
assigned to it and figure out where it's going.
you're good.
Again,
Yep,
there was 4 priorities that
Yeah.
were on the list.
yes,
The lakes, maintenance building, sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Minerva Lake Road,
right,
all of those things were on the list
Yeah.
first to be taken
Right.
care of.
right. Wasn't there a line item though that was like parks or something like that? Because that,
There
I
is.
think that's where I was thinking.
There is a line item, or there are a couple of line items related to park maintenance.
Yes.
And specifically dollars in there for mulch,
Right.
for the playground.
And I think that's where I missed it. I thought you were wrapping all of those requests into that. And
No, I got-
I misunderstood that, so,
There's a line item.
yeah, okay,
As far
thank
as
you.
those concerns, it's my understanding a lot of them have been alleviated.
What? It's been a
Where the
little,
locations and stuff like that. We gotta just-
I forwarded Jason the email of the
Okay,
golf,
okay.
disc golf document. You can look at it at another time.
Yeah, sorry.
thank you.
Can you forward it? I have no idea where they're going either.
Sure.
I don't think I've seen it.
You have, they did at the P and Z, we talked about it and kind of everybody went over it and stuff, but how we can get it the whole thing.
I just know in the last meeting, there was concern about even doing it.
Last meeting that, yes, that I was not at.
Yes,
Yes,
there- yeah.
no problem. Not the P and Z meeting, right, or what?
Yeah, it was at the P and Z meeting.
So they put it.
There was,
put it in the email that he wanted.
they put it in there, but the discussion was whether or not they even wanted to put, correct me if I'm wrong, because they were concerned about discs flying into people's backyards and
Oh,
this
yeah.
and that, and
This
they were
last
not. So, but I don't think anybody at that point really, nobody knew exactly where they were going. Maybe I just,
It's very much a chicken egg type of a
Right.
thing where we don't know where it's gonna be until we get the funding approved versus where it's gonna, it's just like this whole thing of like,
Right.
it's like a maintenance building, but less worse.
so you think.
It's like there's some ideas, but they're all subject to, it's really just a concrete pad and a thing you throw the
It's
frisbee
not,
in
it's
and
not
then you
hard,
just,
it's not expensive.
everything else is space and opportunity.
Yeah, and there's a whole bunch of locations to choose from.
Right. So,
Okay,
we'll get around for the discussion.
so next we have MPCA, Mr. Council President Cameron.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize that was next. Okay, so MPCA meeting was last night. They discussed the fall festival, or was that what it was called, fall festival? Yes. It was the Halloween thing with the costumes and all
yeah.
that. It's now called Fall Festival. So they had 46 people signed up, which they felt like was pretty good. Again, this was the first time it wasn't a Halloween costume contest, it was more inclusive. So overall, everything looked like it went well. I was here for it, I judged the costume contest, so it was fun. Food truck was also here. I think it was a beautiful day. So it was
Oh,
really
yeah.
nice to be out. And I don't know who did all the little fancy flowers and stuff by the bench, but, oh, Chief, thanks. But that was really nice to kind of have all that at the festival. They are looking to do, and I think this is kind of tied into a village project of getting toys or something for the schools, but they're looking to do a gift wrapping fundraiser. So they will professionally wrap gifts. The suggested donation is $5 a package, with 5 being the maximum, and then all those will go towards this program of some kind. They're looking to do that on the 13th and the 22nd. So the 13th, I think, is the night before. It is the night before the trolley rides. So they'll be in here setting up. So that night, while they're setting up, they can do gift wrapping. And then the next one will be the 22nd, which is right before Christmas, obviously. It's kind of you drop them off and then you pick them up later.
Is there any option for a cash donation to not wrap my gifts?
I'm sure they take your money.
Okay, perfect.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, just the opposite of it, you know, can they donate to the
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
making a light of it, I'm
Yeah.
having fun with it.
This is not to wrap the gifts that
Correct.
people are donating. Those will be unwrapped this year. is my
Wrapping your personal
understanding.
gifts.
But this is to wrap your personal
Yeah.
gifts, yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep,
But we can also donate,
yeah.
perfect.
Then the children's holiday party is gonna be on the 15th. It's from 2 to 4. It's here in this building. Which is swapped from last year. So last year, children's party was on Saturday, trolley ride was on Sunday. This year it's swapped. Trolley rides are on Saturday, the 14th. They are only for MPCA members. There's only one trolley, there's not two, because of the budget and the cost. We're doubling this year, so. There'll still be a cookie contest, but they're limiting it to 8 to 10 cookies instead of 21 like last year. That was a lot for people to judge.
That was ridiculous. I gained 9
Yeah.
pounds.
And they're trying to put an emphasis on cookies that are allergy friendly this year and, different,
Oh, I'm not judging
different
those
things
then. I
like
want
that.
the-
I don't think that's part of the allergy, that's just part of, if other cookies are brought, they wanna make sure they have a good.
Mixture.
Yeah. Festival of Lights. Now, I may or may not have these dates correct. I put them as the 14th to the 22nd. That starts with the trolley rides.
Okay.
So they're talking about letting people judge as they're going on the trolley rides.
Oh, cool.
The fan favorite one. So, and then they have judges, their judges pick the other two. So they'll have the 3, it's $50 gift card, and there's 3 winners for that. Their budget is not approved yet for next year. However, they are looking to do a Festival of Frights, which is a Halloween decoration where they'll do 2 winners for that as well. So,
Yeah, people were into that this year.
yeah, there were a lot.
Oh, hayride then.
Yeah, do a hayride, that would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them we
Anyway,
got all kinds of ideas for them.
their budget, they're doing their final vote on the budget in December. And then newsletter, you already know this, the 20th is the due date for the newsletter. They're trying to get it out to get all the December stuff in there.
Okay.
And with the holiday, they just want to make sure it gets out in time.
Yep.
So, that's it.
Awesome. Any questions? Okay.
What was the time on the children's party?
2 to 4.
2 to 4.
All right, next we will move to Councilperson Grant for Finance for the committee reports.
Finance didn't necessarily meet before this meeting, but we did have a budget meeting last week that extended for many hours, and it's very much fun. And we're going to spend the next couple weeks voting on some items and related to the budget process, healthcare, things all that you do every single year. And that's really it. It's a lot of pages, a lot of documents, a lot of things to go through, for sure.
Absolutely. All right. Next, we will move to Councilperson Passion, Safety.
Safety, fortunately, no big issues. We just want to remind everyone, please wear reflective clothing if you're going to be out at night. If you step off your own property, please wear reflective clothing. In the morning, it's still dark, and at night when the sun goes down. Please keep everyone safe and help us do that. Thank you.
Can we put that on the text blast again and all of that stuff as well? Because I know,
The newsletter.
yeah, our officers have said it multiple times throughout.
I just passed the gentleman, and that's why I made a little fun earlier. When I turned a corner and my lights were shining on him, I could tell there was like a muted orange, but it wasn't reflective. So it was like, oh, it's like I see what you're trying to do, but walking a dog, I still couldn't see you. Like, it's
No.
really tough.
Well, if you ask our officers, they will tell you that you see people walking their dogs or just walking in all black. No lights, no nothing.
All black, I see it all the time.
Yep, all the time. And we forget that we don't have a lot of street lights, there's not a lot of light, and it's very difficult at 3 o'clock in the morning to see somebody walking on the side of the road. So, or even 6 a.m. So, if we could make that post out there as well. We do it every couple months as well, so I think that's just one of those things that, kind of like Rita and kind of like a couple of the other things, we just gotta keep saying it, and the sheriff's office number. All right, Councilperson McNamara, legislation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So, a lot of stuff going on tonight. We are entering that kind of end of the year time frame. We've got to get a lot of stuff squared away for 2025. More to come on all that in just a moment or two.
Perfect. And I also do not have a lot, other than the fact that I just want to thank everybody in here. Jeff and Leah, Barb, Chief, everybody has been going through these manuals, and they have been going through, I mean, you're gonna see it. I mean, obviously, you know that they've been working extremely hard trying to get all of this stuff done and get it on the calendar. Not that we don't do it every single year, but I feel like this year there is way more. And like I said, the handbook has been a year in the making. So I feel like we're finally getting to the point that we're legit now. So that's all I have to say. Thank you to everybody that's been working around the clock to get all this stuff done. And then we have citizen comments. We have someone here. And Angela. And then I don't know if you know the process, so state your name and your address. And then you have, what is it, 3 minutes. Yep, you're ready.
All right, I'm ready. I'm Angela Stoller Jervis, and 2927 Green Line Way, which is right around the corner. And we moved in about 5.5 years ago, and so excited to find a community that had beauty, nature, so I'm going to be talking about nature, and how much I appreciated the past. I mean, it was, you know, we've lived in Bexley 25 years, trying to find a place that would make me feel at home. And this was the place we chose with the new development, being able to be out in the green space and such. So, and first of all, I just want to say thank you for all you guys do. I know it's a lot of work and time, so I do appreciate all your service. Well, I just want to tell you that this past year, I just was, you know, a little bit concerned. That little corner spot there on the corner, all the plantings that went in, I think, by the developer, I think. And I've been watching it for several years. It's been my understanding that it was not something we could do as citizens to be able to go into the private spaces or the public spaces and do any improvements kind of thing. But I kept watching, and the weeds and the overgrown and the neglect of that whole space just kind of got to me. And when the heat broke last summer, I went out and spent about 3 hours just clearing that one area, right? And so then I started, you know, I was paying attention. I knew there was something called Minerva Flora. So I reached out to those folks and I said, you know, hey, FYI, I don't know who this belongs to. I don't know who's supposed to be taking care of it. So kind of got involved with Minerva Flora and had helped with doing some little plantings of trees in the reserve areas. And then this year, because we built this porch on our back of our house because I have this beautiful view of the lake. I can't tell you how much it is just amazing. I'm the only one who loves geese. They fly in and fly out on schedule, and they are amazing to watch fly by my house and my windows, and when they land, they are a hoot because they make quite a splash. So I so enjoy, obviously, you know, what we invested in the area. This spring, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are those trees, right? Because we're going to lose our view probably by next year, based on the spread of something called black alder trees, European alder trees, right? And, you know, I think anybody taking a walk through the paths regularly like I do, you're going to just see them everywhere. They're just like sprouting up and like weeds, right? So the reason I'm here is to say, I'm concerned. I think the beauty of the area, we shouldn't take for granted. And the fact that nature has its own way is a challenge when it comes to who is tending to it, right? And so I don't know who's tending to it. I don't know what the plan is for the green space, and I don't really have much as a solution to say, this is what I think y'all should do, this is what we think we should do. I just want to come and raise it as my concern that it doesn't change that something needs to be managed or part of the plan, I guess, the greater plan for the village. And so as improvements are being made, as planning or whatever, whoever's responsible for considering these things, I went on, because I was a part of the Bexley community for a long time, I was like, okay, recently I heard that the street trees are my responsibility, right? The tree that was planted in front of my, which I did not know, I didn't get to choose that tree, it was not something that was presented to me.
You're at 3 minutes, you're over, I'm sorry.
Okay, so I hope that something, that it will be considered, there's a budget I found on Bexley website, their 2024 budget for urban forestry, line items that might be worth looking at, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It goes fast, doesn't it?
I know it does.
3 minutes goes fast.
It does.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Anything else?
Barb.
Yeah, no, you were next.
Hi, Barb Sutton, Minerva Lake Road. Just wanted to make a public announcement that the village's annual collection drive is set to begin on the 18th. We're collecting for the 2 elementary schools and the middle school this year. And different from past years, we're not collecting for specific students. The schools have put out kind of a wish list, which is currently public on the website. The grand announcement will be coming here in the next few days. We'll be collecting from the 18th Monday through the 13th of December and plan to deliver all of the items to the schools the week before they go on winter break. So when you see the announcements for the holiday drive, that's what that's about, and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that going to be in the newsletter too?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Oh boy. Everybody get comfortable.
Yeah, I'll just move as quick as I can. There's a lot. So, moving on to legislation, we are going to begin with Ordinance 26-2024 and updates to the traffic code. This is an ordinance amending the Village of Minerva Park codified ordinances to provide updates to sections 402.01, 434.10, 436.14, 452.05 of the Village Code to provide for penalties, to provide for codification, to provide for severability, and to repeal conflicting ordinances. This is the second reading, so we continue. We now move to Ordinance 27-2024, which is an update to the General Offenses Code. It is an ordinance amending the Village of Minerva Park codified ordinances to provide updates to sections 608.09, 624.01, 666.02, 666.03, 678.14, and 698.05 of the Village Code to provide for penalties, to provide for codification, to provide for severability, and to repeal conflicting ordinances. And once again, that's just a second reading. We now move to Ordinance 28-2024. This is our noise ordinance we've been working on for some time. An ordinance adopting Chapter 348.12 of the codified ordinances of the Village of Minerva Park as a general noise code intended to protect the public safety and welfare. The big change on this is that time frames were added. And this is just a second reading as well. We now move to Ordinance 29-2024. This is an ordinance adopting an official canine unit policy and including the policy in the Police Department General Manual. So this gets us set up with the regulations required for a canine unit through our police department, and this is just the first reading. We now move to Ordinance 30-2024, which regards employee health care. This is an ordinance establishing health care benefits for employees in the mayor and authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into contracts for major medical and other insurances for village employees and to declare an emergency. And this is just the first reading. We now have ordinance 31-2024. This is an ordinance approving street improvement, or approving a street improvement fund of equipment replacement and declare an emergency. So this is a way of moving 3% of our income tax to equipment preparation for repair and replacement and improvement projects within the village. And this is just the first reading. We now move to ordinance 32-2024. This is an ordinance updating the wage and salary ranges, the number of employees in positions for the village of Minerva Park, and to declare an emergency. Once again, just first reading.
If we have questions, do we ask questions now or in the work session?
Now, work session, whenever you want.
Okay. Let me just say, it's my understanding that this particular one has the addition of a village manager position, and is that correct? And so I'm just going to ask, I don't doubt for a second that we need that, but I'm going to say it's difficult for me to make a decision like that out of context. And so I would ask for not only a job description for that position, but I'd love to see that in context with the job descriptions of other administrative functions for the village. So if there's any way we could get that, I would super appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. We now move to ordinance 33-2024. This is supplemental appropriations. An ordinance to make supplemental appropriations for the current expenses of the Village of Minerva Park for the year 2024. This is money to the general fund for payments, shifting some money around to the police department, and to accept a donation to the account that takes care of our fantastic Officer Kimber. So this is just the first reading, and we are moving to suspend rules requiring 3 readings.
Sorry.
Are you making that move?
So
Yes, I am making that motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Will there be any discussion?
All right. Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Pasha.
Aye.
Council President Camera.
Aye.
And Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
All right. Having suspended the rules requiring 3 readings, I move for passage of ordinance 33-2024.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
All right. Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Council President Camera.
Aye.
Councilperson Pasha.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye. All right, the motion passes. We now move to ordinance 34-2024. This is somewhat linked with ordinance 31-2024, the ordinance authorizing the allocation of income tax revenues for equipment replacement. So they kind of go hand in hand. We need a place to put the money that we're going to use for the improvement and replacement. So that's just the first reading. But we now move to ordinance 35-2024. These are annual appropriations. An ordinance to make appropriations for the current expenses of the Village of Minerva Park for the year 2025. And this is just the first reading. I must have forgotten to write down exactly what was all entailed in ordinance 35-2024.
That's the annual budget.
Oh,
That's
the
head
annual
budget.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I don't think you want to go through that.
No, I don't want to do that. Just the first reading. We can modify if we need. All right. We now move to ordinance 36-2024, an ordinance updating the employee handbook. This was a true labor of love, or maybe frustration for a lot of people, but that's just the first reading. So we'll have that one ready by 25. We now move to ordinance 37-2024. This is an ordinance authorizing a one-time bonus to all village employees in recognition of service. And this is just the first reading, but those bonuses should be coming.
And that is for 2025.
Yes, for the year 2025. I now move to bring back the table resolution 2024-28, which is our recurring contracts resolution. It has been updated since the last time it appeared before us, so I make that motion to return it.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded.
Can we do all in favor on that one, or do we have to do roll call? Just to move it off the table, do roll call? Does
Move
anybody
it
know?
off the table? I think you can just do all in favor there.
Will there be any discussion about it?
To bring it off the table. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions?
All
Okay,
right.
it's off the table, now you do it all.
Yep. So the resolution 2024-28 returns before us for its third and final reading. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into various recurring contracts necessary for the continuous operation of the village and to declare an emergency. As this is the third reading, I move for passage.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Will there be any discussion?
What was changed on this?
I think there was,
I know you
One added,
wanted to
yes,
add
it was
something,
added.
I thought, but
We ended up not adding it, we thought we were gonna add the standard, but Jeff put that in somewhere else, so
Healthcare.
there were no changes. It turns out after all that.
Okay. All right, perfect.
What's the zoning
You
guru?
misled me. I just.
that's our code enforcement officer.
He's a 1099.
Yes.
All right. Will there be any discussion on the passage of resolution 2024-28?
Anything else on it? Okay. All right, Council President Cameron.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin. Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Motion or the resolution passes. We now move to resolution 2024-32. This is regarding pool fees. A resolution establishing fees for membership to the Minerva Park Pool for the 2025 summer season. And this is just the first reading. We'll be seeing more of it in the future.
And on,
Go ahead.
on that one, are we adding emergency so we can start selling January 1st, or are we okay not selling it until January 11th? Is there a, because 30 days is going to put us to January 11th.
I mean, we can still discuss that. right?
Okay,
I'm just cool avoiding emergency on that.
Okay.
That's.
I'm just pointing it
I
out.
trust the council president.
I understand that. I think we need to have a conversation with our pool website people.
Okay.
To see if, maybe they have deadlines or,
Okay.
maybe they can't meet the January 1st, so
Okay,
might pass it as emergency if they can't do it by then.
right. Okay, I'm just pointing it out that it
Yeah, I
won't
got
be
it.
until,
Yeah, I do, yeah.
All right.
It's just the first reading.
yeah.
We now move to resolution 2024-33. This is a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds and to declare an emergency. This is the first reading, and what this resolution is doing is making available $200,000 to the pool improvement fund so that we can get, I'm assuming it's a matching grant,
Correct.
so that we can get that, and that's why we're doing this on an emergent basis as well. We now move to resolution 2024-34. This is funding commitment, so authorizing the village fiscal officer to sign a funding commitment for pool improvements in order to complete a grant application and to declare an emergency. So this is what I was just alluding to. So on that basis, I move to suspend the readings the rule requiring 3 readings.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Will there be any discussion?
All right, Councilperson Martin. Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Council President Cameron.
Aye.
All right, having waived the rule requiring 3 readings, I move for approval of resolution 2024-34 on this emergent basis.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Will there be any discussion?
All right, Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Council President Cameron.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
The motion passes. And lastly, we move to resolution 2024-35. This is a resolution adopting the rules of council for the Village of Minerva Park for the year 2025. This is just the first reading. There'll be more of it to see again. That concludes legislative business for this evening, Madam Mayor.
perfect. Do we have any old businesses first?
Discovered last night at NPCA meeting that I don't think anyone's followed up with the request from Minerva Flooring.
I'll send it tomorrow.
So I summarized the email
Yes,
that was sent, but I didn't feel comfortable forwarding that email.
I'll forward it.
So,
well, I'm gonna redo it and then
Yes.
forward, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do that. And actually, I just might do it as soon as we get done.
okay.
And she reminded me a couple days ago and I actually did forget about it again.
Okay.
Cause I told her I would send it. Any old business, new business now?
Old business, December 11th, is the last, I don't want to say day, but the last week of leaf pickup, weather permitting, of course.
And I'm gonna be really nice, but doesn't matter how many times you say it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know.
So every morning at 9 a.m., will you just post it on the MPCA page because it's already been posted the last 2 days, people asking?
I know, and I've.
Can we make a request to have it pinned on the page?
I don't know.
The first thing that they see.
I know it's not their thing, but, so yes, we post it, we're posting it, again, if we can just make sure we highlight it and post it again at the last, that is not, and don't say it as the last day, weather permitting, it should be around that week. The week of the 11th is kind of how I would word it. Because again, if it snows 14 inches of snow, you're just not getting it that week, so.
Don't
the
get
other- Or you just say this, don't procrastinate, and it doesn't matter when the last day is, go do it.
Yeah, well,
I thought you said you were gonna be nice.
don't get leafed out.
Don't get leaved out, put that on there, that's great, and just let
I'm
me
here
take
for
credit
all of
for it,
your
'cause that's really
one-liners.
cute.
I'm in. That should be my job.
All right, that's all I have.
Okay, say motion to adjourn?
Seconded?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Adjourned.